Hello everyone, my name is Faru and today I will try to explain difficult easy way. Let's say we are talking today about AgentScope. It's agent-oriented programming for building LLM applications. Before we go to the AgentScope and agentic system, let's have a look on the history of the AI, LLM, and agents. So first about the history of the AI, artificial intelligence. It started from the Turing test. You know about this one, like Enigma machine and others, right? And then on the Dartmouth conference, some more detailed articles and published regarding this one. However, we had the first winter on the AI before came the expert systems. We didn't have enough computing power at the time, so most of the ideas and then tasks we couldn't do. Even the perceptron was created roughly at the time, and then it couldn't bring to the life since we don't have the enough computing power and create the neural networks from the perceptrons. However, on the 1997, with Deep Blue, we beat the Kasparov, right? And then very significant point here, 2012, AlexNet published it, and then it was open source. By this neural networks, based on the conventional neural networks, right? We find out with the scaling and enough data set, we can do almost reach anything. And then with publishing the transformers and then attention all you need, right? We created the GPT version 1 and others, and then it sharply started to change. Now it's the rise of the multimodal and agentic AI. And if we look the agents concept before, so we can put on the 3 rails on 3 types, like economic agents, software agents, and autonomous systems. However, the combination all of these kind of things bring our current agents. So and from another point of view, if you are looking to the AI by itself, let's say first on the AI, we understand everything like machine learning, generative AI, deep learning, neural networks, computer vision, NLP, and others. It's quite a lot. And machine learning is it was quite clear, and it's included like 3 parts, like unsupervised learning, supervised learning, and reinforcement learning. However, for the business and use cases, it wasn't enough. Then it's coming deep learning with AlexNet, right? We can put the picture, and on the picture animal, we can ask, is it dog or cat? So it can recognize, oh, this is dog. We want more and further information. So with the transformers and attention, we get the generative AI. Of course, before we had the generative AIs like RNN and LSTM and others. However, they couldn't give the same scaling and then a precise result as the GPT versions. So here, yeah, we can see there's a large language model. It can answer. Even with generative AI, we could find some disadvantages like latest information it cannot give. Then we use a RAG with vector database safe. Even RAG is not enough. So we want to like use the tools, APIs, maybe with the information outside of the world of the LLM and RAG, and maybe we want to use memory as well. So this kind of tools is becoming more complicated, and for this one we need agentic AI. So here is some definition. Feel free to pause or write down if you like. But that's like for reference, and it's taken from the Gartner. However, you can find similar things. So if an agent can do by himself the action and achieve your goals, that's what we usually call the agent in very short and simplified answer, right? So agent has own components. Like first, it should have the memory. It should use the tool and plan some regarding the memory, right? And action. Then we can say, okay, this one agent, and we take this one from the Lilian Wang by her amazing article, like LLM powered agents. Another case is action and reasoning, right? So as action, we can take the react, chain of the thoughts, and the self-reflection for the each parts. Then we can have some kind of generative AI memory, and it can do like reflect, plan, receive, and act. So regarding memory, usually we define to the 2 parts, like short-term memory and long-term memory, which is long-term memory is saved in some external vector stores or somewhere, and short-term is because of the token size, right? And it can help us for the detail, remember the things. So, and how we can use. It's cool to use with the tools. Again, like calculator can be called, let's say, executing the code or other. So usually we have the agent, it has the prompt, memory, and we can call the tools. So on another thing is as you can see here, is agents call the tools and some actions, right? Every time if we create this kind of connection by ourselves instead of the standardized, it will be complicated. So here comes to the MCP, so Model Contents Protocol. Here is like it's I like this kind of explanation by the world when they say MCP is like type USB Type C, which is like it can work for the as every application. And another explanation is it's like REST API. So before coming REST API, everyone tried to some kind of connect between the applications, and it was quite complicated. So in this case, we can easily to create the connection between the agents, and workflow, complex workflow will become easier. So what's the AgentScope? AgentScope is a framework which has the environment, agents, foundations, and then it can clearly work with the different agents. And if it has the environment and agents, definitely we can here use MCP as well. So good part, it's Lego style. So you can build it and then try and run by yourself. You need a little bit development effort here. Python is pretty good to use. So if from the principles, core principles, like it's transparent, real-time, and model agnostic, so you can connect to any of your model. And in our example tutorial, I will try to use, I will use the Queen model. So then, again, for the detailed MCP, probably you can go to the model context protocol.io to get some more information. And I explained about the AgentScope. Probably you will ask where we can find. It's on the GitHub, AgentScope AI, and the repository is AgentScope. So I think instead of talking, let's go to some use case. First, let me show the resources. So it's still the best place to know about the agents and information about the agent. It's Lilong. Lilog. It's like a blog, I believe. Here you can find all of the information. I like to use, and we go to the AgentScope. As here you can see, they have the quite good explanation, by the way, and they have the Discord channel if you want to have the questions, and documentation as well. Documentation is like starting installation and so on. Let's try. Let's try hands-on. So basically, I prepared everything, but I will go every step one by one. First, I downloaded the. Let me say, I like to create the environment. So first, which I used, I create the environment for especially for this kind of task, and it's inside my AgentScope demo. You can see here is and I use this comment since I already created, so I don't need. And another point is I like to put my let's say credentials in environmental file. So you can create the environmental file, and then from the local environment you can call the or upload your key and others. Here I have the open with a key, right? It's safe, and then even when if you like to upload your code to the GitHub, you can ignore this part, right? So then on the documentation, let's go to here. So on the documentation of this one, it shows like two parts of the install. So first we can download and install, or we can PYPI install from pipe. I installed from pipe, but I use it one thing. So here on the install, we can install just AgentScope. But do you remember? Let me show you on this photo. So this is like kind of Lego, right? You need to use different frameworks and other stuffs. If you want to use MCP, you need MCP, LLMs, and others. So instead of installing only AgentScope by itself, I use this one. So pipe install AgentScope full. So here I just put this one and install. And since I like to check by myself and go to the code or inside, have a look, and maybe I need to sometimes do the debugging as well. So I downloaded clone the repository as well. So here you can see repository cloned, and if I need, I can do some kind of debugging. Okay, so let's back to here. And first things it shows on the documentation is AgentScope version, right? We install, then we need to check, did we get the correct version and everything is working well? Let's try. So on here, I can see, okay, I got the version 1.0. That should be good. And the next, let's try something easier, quick start. So again, I'm using the, okay, if somebody, they wanna take the free tokens, I can recommend this one. So if somebody wanna take the free tokens, we have the Alibaba Cloud Model Studio. And if you go to the model, if you are using first time, right? Any model like Queen Plus, it has 1 million free tokens, which is valid 180 days. Crazy. And other models as well. So here we can get, for that one, I use the AgentScope and then put my credential. Actually, on the model today, you can use OpenAI compatible libraries as well. However, I use the AgentScope. So here is my code. As you can see, if I want to do this kind of application assistant, which can give me some information, I need to do a lot, right? But here is quite simple. I imported like from AgentScope, like React agent, user agent, chat model, format in memory and others, and credentials and base URL. Here, one moment. So on the example, actually, guys, they use the AgentScope as well, API key. AgentScope has a two version, like for China and for overseas. And if you are going to use overseas, actually on the documentation of the models today, it's already mentioned. First API, we have to put, so base URL. It's OpenAI compatible one, and AgentScope is as well. So we need to change the base URL. So for base URL, I put it to my environment and take it, put on the AgentScope. Then you should avoid the mistakes. So let's try this assistant Friday. Okay, it's loading. Okay, let me ask what date today. So it shows like user executions, every step is shown. Oh, good. Today is Friday. Oh, nice. Friday say today date is, sorry. So it's quite helpful. Let me check. Does it have the weather information? Okay, it doesn't have. Maybe I need to put city, right? Let's see how smart it is in London. Okay, so it doesn't have this information, and if I want to exit, just type exit and it will go out. So that's, you see, it's only it's difficult to say 40 lines. Anyway, it's less than 40 line and code, and I can have my own assistant. How about the Python executor? So if I want to create something to create the Python, so here is example Jarvis. He's creating hello world in Python. Okay, let's try to run it. So hello world. So as we can see, it's called like print hello world. The code is clear. Okay, I have executed the print hello world. Hello world. Let me give it a little bit difficult. Give me first 6 numbers of Fibonacci sequence, right? Let's try this one and run it. We will see how Jarvis is working. Okay, let me see the code. So def Fibonacci looks like good, right? Python code is correct. Even it's simple code. I'm not saying it's quite complicated. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, sorry, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Looks good. Looks good. It's executing, right? Okay. Maybe we can do something more. Multi-agent debate. So it's like two agents need to find the answer for this kind of question, like two circles are externally tangent. Okay, how many times will circle A revolve it in total? Let's try to it. So it's quite even. I think I need to like 5 to 10 minutes to observe this information and then solve it. So we can see the two agents, Alice and Bob. They are now debating and wanted to find the best answer. Okay, answer is 4. I believe it's true, and we can see the two agents debate. So this kind of action will help us to decrease the hallucination and find the better. So Alice and Bob can be changed. And any name you can give, and it will work as well. So that's good as a multi-agent workflow and code executor and others, but I want to do maybe with the MCP. So on the document, on the AgentScope itself, it has examples and agent with MCP, right? Let's try to run the sample as well first. So here is MCP server. So basically I need to run this MCP server. Okay. Then let me go to this folder, agent with MCP and Python. I need Python MCP server, right? Okay. I didn't change any line of the code. It's working. So another terminal, I need to run the main. So for the main, let me check its calculator. Okay, it's a calculator calling the MCP and it should work. So basically we need to find the calculate 4-digit number, multiply another 4-digit, and then add another 4-digit number. I hope it works. So let me go to this one, agent with MCP, then Python main. Okay, it's calling the MCP now. Add multiply actions we can see. Okay, now we have the result. So basically we can check this result if we want, but I believe it's true. That's calculator, right? How about we make something which can get the outside information. Let's say weather. So I have weather client and I have weather server. Let me run first server. So I need to go to the MCP and then Python MCP server. Oops. I need to fix with my key. Let me check. Okay, so for the key, usually we need to put these 3 lines. Not 3 lines, 2 lines. I don't need the desktop, so I need to load from .env, load.env, and this one. Let me try again. Okay, and for the testing, I like to put the test. So here we have the London weather. It shows cool. Okay, so MCP server is running now, and I wanna do the client one and test by myself. So here is client. So it will run until user asks the question, right? Yeah. Okay. So once I need to ask question, Python MCP client. Weather, which was a city? Let's say Shanghai. Okay. Input. I hope network will work because it's getting from API with information and it's connected to the MCP server. Okay. Clear sky, 2970. Maybe try another city. How about the Tashkent? It's like capital of the Uzbekistan. Okay, we get the for Tashkent temperature as well. So overall, it's working and it's pretty good. And on the agent scope, we have the agent browser, evolution, long-term memory, React agent, structured output workflow. So you can play around with all of this one. Another point, maybe most of you interesting, like how we can check the results, right? Maybe you need to put some how much API, what's the using, and for the users, usually it's like money is important, right? So we want to check all of the usage. Good part, the AgentScope team, they prepared UI for this one. So can you imagine? They have the UI. So here is on the documentation. Amazing guys. They do the AgentScope Studio. Like it's basically you install. I believe it's like TypeScript or JavaScript with npm. npm you run it, and then AS Studio. So let me just run. I already installed, so I have this one AS Studio. After run, boom. I have this one. So I can connect to here my projects and see the runs, tokens consumption, invocations, and on the dashboards it's detail. And if I want to like AgentScope Copilot, I can use Copilot or AgentScope X. It's other things it can come. So if I want to go to the tutorials, opens the tutorials on the documentation, and the API, it opens again documentation. Anyway, maybe it's some mistake. Like, however, I can fix by myself, so I can do some modification on this one. So the guys did a great job, amazing. I think here is contributors. Pretty ready framework for you to working as Lego style, right? So what's the next, right? You have the framework. You can work as Lego. The next is you can create the anything as you want, like domain application. It can be healthcare, finance, education, or even deep research like scientific research. And feel free to come our learning resources like on the documentation, GitHub, and others. And for the start, it's just into type install AgentScope, and you can start to work with this one. So if you like this one, please give the start to the guys. So make them happy, and we are looking at your feedbacks on the below. Feel free to leave your comments, your feedbacks on the comments, and see you our next tutorials.